Greetings, Patho students. Welcome to summer session. My name is Glenna Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R, and I'm your instructor. I've taught online Patho for many years. I also currently teach online pharmacology for Mesa Community College. I also work as a part-time nurse educator NCLEX specialist for ATI and do live reviews where we prep new grad nurses for their NCLEX experience. I've taught at Mesa full-time for 12 years and taught in Block 3. In the last 6 or 7 years, I was the paramedic to RN transition coordinator for that group of students. Our course, Human Pathophysiology, which is HCR 240, our summer section number is 16578. Our course runs from May 21st to August 8th. And I need to tell you right off the bat, you may notice that this is a 4.0 unit course, which means there's significant content, even compared to a 3.0 unit course. And in a summer session, we are basically cramming 15 weeks of content into 12 weeks. 12 weeks with our 13th week being our final week. So I'm calling this an accelerated course. This is the first time I've ever taught Patho during the summer. So this will be a learning experience for me. As far as the schedule goes, we're going to take a tour of Canvas. I'm going to show you how you can access the syllabus. It's probably a good idea to have that in front of you because it has the course schedule as we go through the rest of this orientation. But I've identified 3 what I call high volume weeks. We have to take this content that usually is spread out and we have to compact it. We cannot eliminate any content basically. So I'm giving you, but advance notice that weeks 2, 4, and 10 are what I consider high volume weeks. That's where we cover lots of content and there is high quantity of reading that will be expected during those weeks. So once you get the summer schedule printed out and you are able to identify what those weeks are, see how that works into your life. But basically, as we approach this course, I want to tell you that I love teaching Patho. I think it's essential that nurses have a strong Patho foundation. If they are to be competent nurses, this is a requirement for all BSN nurses, and it's a great course for nursing students that are in the queue waiting to get into a program. You will be facing the NCLEX licensure exam at some point in your future, and much of Maricopa nursing curriculum is geared toward preparing students to be successful in that endeavor as well as to be safe, competent new grad nurses. But I can tell you that nearly 50% of your NCLEX exams comes from these categories whose topics are either physiological adaptation, management of care, or reduction of risk potential. Those are 3 of possibly 12 NCLEX categories, and 50% of your exam questions come from those areas. Those all have to do with pathophysiology. You've already completed anatomy and physiology, and so you should have a strong baseline for identifying what is normal, what is normal in our anatomical structure and how those individual systems work. In pathophysiology, we identify that which is not right, what has gone awry. Sometimes it's a temporary disorder, sometimes it's a chronic disease. So when things are not normal, when things are damaged, when things are diseased, how do we recognize those? How do we diagnose them? And what kinds of interventions can we do to bring the patient back to baseline? We will look at how the body reacts, we'll look at signs and symptoms, and we'll look at how the patient feels, which is a very important part of our nursing assessment. We'll go over some physical exam techniques as well as laboratory and imaging results. And again, we'll look at what interventions might be most effective. This course will focus on adult pathophysiology. I may occasionally mention something about pediatrics, but I do not emphasize it. In Block 4 of our nursing program, you will have PEDS-only content that will help you tie in pediatric adaptations. You'll have access to this Lippincott online course for 2 years, and you'll have your ebook forever, just as you would have a traditional book for as long as you have it. I do get occasional responses in the course evaluations that some students really wish they had had a hard text. There's nothing that precludes you from getting hold of a hard copy text if you want that. My syllabus and schedule is written toward the ebook, but if you want to go on half.com or on Amazon, or just go to a bookstore and see if you can find maybe a previous edition of the book that we're using, you're welcome to do that. I don't have any problems with it. It's just that the traditional books are really being phased out in favor of the ebooks. So let's take a little bit of a course tour. I want you to have two things in front of you, if you will. Print the syllabus, and then that also includes the course schedule. So if you go to Canvas and click on syllabus, you'll be able to print out your syllabus, and because we are going to go over that as part of our tour. So let's go into Canvas first. Thanks. Hopefully you're all familiar with Canvas. If not, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for you. We're going to select our Patho course. In the actual syllabus, there are some links to Canvas tutorials, and there's also an email. If you go into your messages or to your inbox, you'll find an email from me that also has a link to some Canvas tutorials, as well as information on how to access the Lippincott online course, which includes the ebook. So let's go here to the syllabus, and I'm just going to open it up in a Word document, but it's right here. So we're going to go over to some important points. I know you're going to read the syllabus because that is your first step to success. Here's our course number. Here's my email right now. Once the course is open, I advise you to contact me via Canvas through the messaging center in Canvas. I do get that email forwarded, but that identifies students related to this class, and it's much easier to sort things out than having you simply email me here. So once the course is open, please email me through Canvas. As I'm recording this, our refund dates are not available, as are the withdraw dates. They're just not available for me on the SIS system. As soon as those become available to me, I will post an announcement within the Canvas course to remind you of what your refund deadlines are and your last day to withdraw. This is the required text, the Fourth Essentials of Pathophysiology, Concepts of Altered Health Status. We're on the 4th edition, and this ebook is part of an online course bundle. So there's actually the online course and access to the ebook. And it's important that you purchase the correct bundle, because all the exams that you'll receive for this course are located inside this course point course, Lippincott. It's on the Lippincott site called The Point. So you must have access to that. You must be enrolled in that class in order to see your exams. Page 4 of this syllabus has the class code and enrollment instructions for how to get into the course. Here's our course competencies. Here's our grading scale. This is an HCR course, healthcare related course. So we use the college grading scale. We do not use the nursing scale, which is a little tougher. So for 90%, you must attain 269 points or above to earn an A. You must attain 238 points to 268 points to earn a B, etc. And here's how you earn your points. The course is worth 300 points. You'll have 4 exams, which are called course exams. You have a reminder of your course exam on Canvas, but the actual course exam is found on the Lippincott website. Each of those are 50 questions, and they're each worth 50 points, for a total of 200 course exam points. You have 5 case studies. 5 case studies which are worth 5 points each for a total of 25. Your case studies are located on Canvas. So you'll click on that assignment, you'll open it up, and in a text box, you will provide the answer and submit it. Then you'll see the grade as I grade them in your grade book. There's also a comment feature in the grade book where I'll provide you some feedback. So please look at that. I did have some students on the last eval say they would appreciate feedback on their case studies, and I fear that they didn't know how to open up that comment feature in the grade book. So please do that to review feedback on your case studies. A final exam is 75 questions. That's during finals week, and that is worth, they're worth 1 point each for a total of 75. So your course is worth 300. Although you have an opportunity in week 1 to earn 1, 2, or 3 extra credit points if you complete those assignments, and we'll look at those in just a minute. Online learning activities this is an online course. Obviously, you can work ahead, but you cannot fall behind due to the rigorous schedule we have for this summer course. Exams are posted on Canvas. Reminders are posted on Canvas. They open at 6 a.m. on a Sunday, and they close at 10 p.m. Following. So they're open for, 3 days and 2 nights. And that is the way all your exams will be, except for the final. So you have to take a look at the course final. The course final deadline is at noon. So we'll take a look at that to determine the difference. Please communicate with me over Canvas, and there is no makeup work. There is no makeup quizzes or exams. If you fail to take your exam by the deadline, it's as if you are a no-show for that exam day. So unless you have extraordinary circumstances, if for some reason you know in advance that you're going to have difficulty meeting the exam schedule, please send me an email. We'll figure out what we can do about it, all right? What typically happens when students forget about an exam is they see the following Tuesday or Wednesday, they see a 0 pop up in their grade book. So they've just missed out on 50 points. And then they come to me with some reasons why they were not able to take the exam. If you have those reasons, you need to communicate with those with me in advance, not after the fact. Here's our disability support services that are available at Mesa Community College if you need any of those. This is page 4 of our syllabus, and these are the instructions to access your online course. Please use this link. This is a special link created for Mesa Community College. Lippincott does provide approximately 25% discount to Mesa students who enter through this link. So you're going to be looking for the name of the textbook and the course, which is this. It's Course Point for Porth. And it's going to say, I believe in your shopping list, it's going to say Spring 18. So I'm saying disregard that. That is still our book. This Spring 18 course still applies to the summer. So that is the course you want, and that is the ebook that you want, all in that one bundle. Then once you purchase that, you're going to enroll, you're going to go to My Classes on the Lippincott website and join the class, and this is your class code for our summer session to enroll. And then I'll see you on the Lippincott roster. If you have any issues, with this. Here's your tech support number for Lippincott, and they can help you. Let's take a fly by our summer schedule here. We won't go over everything, but I'll show you some of the highlights. Here's our week 1. Please note, week 1 is your techno week. This is where you get familiar with Canvas, you get familiar with your ebook, you get familiar with the Lippincott course, and also Prep U within the Lippincott course, which is the testing function. So this is your week to figure all that stuff out, because look at what happens in week 2. Week 2 is an example of our high volume week. Don't be afraid when you see 7 chapters, she must be crazy, because for the first time, I've never done this before, but for the first time I'm actually going to share my textbook highlights with you, and we'll see how this works. So I've already been through chapters 1 through 7, and I've highlighted important concepts. So this will be an aid, I hope, for you to skip over some material with my permission and to focus on information that is highlighted. And those highlights will help us stay in line with what our course competencies are. There is a lot of information in the textbook, and some of it is, I have to say, it's truly nice to know, but I focus on information that nurses need to know in order to be safe to care for their patients. So when we get into the textbook, I'll show you what I mean, and I'll show you how to enroll in the highlight sharing feature within the textbook. So back to week 1, I'd like you to review your student quick start guide for Course Point. This is within the Lippincott site. I'd like you to review Course Point Study Student User Guide, and also access the Porth. Porth is our author, the ebook, and that is on the Vital Shelf Library, and there's a link to that from inside the Lippincott course. So we'll look at that as well and get familiar with navigating around the ebook. Or not, maybe you already have this skill and you've used ebooks in the past. There are 3 opportunities here. Each one of these red lines is an opportunity for you to complete this activity and earn 1 extra credit point. One is to complete a practice exam that I have posted within the point for you. It's 10 questions, and it's on material actually found in Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a really important chapter for me: inflammation, the inflammatory response, and fever. So I do like you to focus on Chapter 3. It's just practice, and regardless of your score on this practice exam, if you complete it and submit it, you will receive 1 point. This is for you to learn how to take an instructor authored exam on the point. The other thing I'd like you to do is to complete a practice case study. You'll find that in Canvas under week 1 material. And again, you click on this and it will open, and you'll have to go to your book to do some reading. But as you submit this practice case study, you will earn 1 point for submission. So now you'll know how to do that skill. The other is back to Lippincott website, the Prep U tab, where the testing is. This is for you to self-compose a quiz. And this is a feature within the Lippincott site that has to do with mastery of material. And what it is adaptive quizzing that you initiate yourself. And I've never given any points for this, but I want you to learn how to do it, because this is how you will strengthen yourself on content that you may be weak in. So here I want you to go to Prep U, choose Chapter 3 again as your content chapter, answer those 11 questions. Regardless of how you score, you're going to get 1 extra credit point for doing it and submitting it. So that tells me that you know how to self-compose a self-adaptive quiz within the website. So all of that will occur in week 1. This is for you to get familiar with the platform that we're using and all of your resources. On week 2, we're going to handle Cell and tissue function. And I've already told you that I feel chapter 3 is very important. But when we flip over to the ebook, I'll show you what my highlights look like. And it's a way for you to, what I call, quote unquote, smart read. When I want you to smart read a chapter, I do not expect that you're going to read it stem to stern. I expect that you're going to read for concepts that are important. You'll find those from my highlights. You'll also learn what I feel is important by listening to my weekly focus videos. And they will be between 10 and 20 minutes once a week. You'll listen to me help you focus on what I feel is most important for you to extract from that week's content. Going down to week 3, we see an assigned, this is your first assigned case study. You'll find it on Canvas. It sends you back to Canvas right here. Week 3 case study is going to be related to week 3 content. So here you see the content topic is fluid and electrolyte imbalance, and you do have a chapter on fluid and electrolyte imbalance. So my advice is that you listen to the focus video, you do your smart reading, and then you do your case study afterwards, because you'll have a handle on what that material is. And then between weeks 3 and 4 here, starting on the Sunday, which is the end of week 3, as we begin week 4, our weeks end on Sunday and begin on Monday. We have our first course exam, and again, you'll go back to the Lippincott website for that. So whenever you see a week like this, remember I said weeks 2 and 4 and 10 are high volume. Here's weeks 4, high volume. There's lots going on. So that smart reading will be an essential function of your survival. And let's see, we go down to week 10 is another high volume week. Then we have our final. Our final is open Tuesday through Thursday. Opens Tuesday, August 7th at 6 a.m. Closes Thursday, August 9th at noon. So this exam schedule is different from all your other exams, which open on Sunday morning and close on Tuesday evening. Tuesday evening at 10 o'clock. So you may have had other courses where the end of the day or the deadline is always midnight. The deadline for these courses, for these exams, is 10 p.m. So please take note of that. Let's head over to the Lippincott website so we can see what the actual course looks like, as well as our access to the ebook. Okay, a quick overview of our Patho course on the Point website. Again, page 4 of your syllabus has instructions on how to access your course here. So here we are, Porth Essentials of Pathophysiology, 4th edition. Let's go into course content. And I'm going to flip to a student view. Hopefully this will show you what your screen looks like. So there was a picture like of the front of the textbook. So here is your Course Point Student Quick Start Guide that I'd like you to take a look at, this and this. Those are listed on your course schedule during week 1. These are 2 stops I'd like you to make: the Quick Start Guide and the User Guide. And then there's various learning objectives. There's interactive tutorials here. There's journal articles. There's dosage calculation quizzes. Let's see. Some heart and breath sounds, some review of nursing roles and responsibilities, some interactive case studies. These are not the case studies that you'll find on Canvas, but these are here for your practice if you like. The way I usually go to the ebook is by this click to the Vital Source bookshelf. But before we go there, I would like to show you Prep U. So Adaptive Learning by Prep U. You should have this tab. And if you click on My Classes, okay, this is showing you too many classes, but this is your session right here, the summer session. You should be able to go to Prep U This should be your view of how you're doing. Obviously, you've got no activity in here, so you've got no mastery to show for yourself. If you click on assignments, you'll see assigned quizzes and exams. I've already got a practice quiz sitting in here. Remember, I said a practice quiz that is worth 1 point if you complete it. There are 10 questions, and this is on Chapter 3 material. But again, regardless of your outcome, you will receive the 1 point if you do it. So here's where you'll also see course exam 1, course exam 2, etc., lined up here. Here is where you'll do your own practice quizzes. That's the self-composed quiz that I mentioned. So you go to practice quiz, and what I'd like you to do is go to Chapter 3. This is where you'll choose the content that you want to practice on, and then you'll say, I want to answer 10 questions, and start your quiz. So this is the way your questions will appear. Again, more opportunity for you to have practice actually taking an exam in Prep U, and also a way for you to see how you can use this course and this Prep U feature because this is adaptive. So as you take your practice quizzes, it's going to help identify areas of deficiency, and then it can generate future quizzes for you based on that finding. So let's go back to our course point course content and get back over to the ebook. Now I want to go do some reading. Okay, we are now in the Vital Source bookshelf. And there's a number of things you can do. If you do the tutorial, you can download this Vital Source bookshelf to 4 different devices. So if you have an iPad and an iPhone that you'd like to put it on, there's ways to do that. And you can also download the book on your desktop computer if you like. But let's go into our Patho book here, and we'll go to Table of Contents and start from the beginning. Table of Contents, Unit 1, and Unit 1 and Chapter 1. So for most of you, you're going to scroll down to read to the bottom of the page and then click to the next page. Some of you, depending on what your platform is, you may go side to side. But what I want to show you here is what instructor highlighting looks like. This is me with a blue highlighter, basically telling you what I feel is important on that page. And I've gone through your first 7 chapters so far, and we'll be getting busy with the rest. As I said, this is the first time I've done this, share highlights with students as a way to augment the focus videos and help you determine what's important. We just went through several pages there with no highlights. Let's see. Here we go. Diffusion. Oh, there was a section back there on the cell membrane that is important. So here we get into diffusion and osmosis, movement of water across a membrane, a semi-permeable membrane, active transport. Occasionally there are some videos that are awesome that I'd like you to watch, and when we come across those, I actually try to highlight, here's some important area, I try to highlight the title of the video. Epithelial and connective tissue. Here, calcium and muscle contraction. So you see the blue highlighting inside the title of the video. That's because I feel that's a valuable video. Most of the videos are 3 to 5 minutes, so they're not a big time commitment. But that's the idea. That's what highlighting looks like. So if you are watching and listening to this video, you're getting this bit of information about instructor highlights. If you're not watching the video, I don't know how you're going to get that information. But I want to bring you back to the home of bookshelf, and I want to show you how to enroll in sharing highlights. So if you go to Tools, and if you go to Sharing, highlights is how you can highlight your own reading. You know, you can choose any color highlighter you want, and you can choose multiple highlighter colors for different kinds of issues that you want to highlight for yourself. But if you want to participate in this sharing, you want to follow me. So you're going to put my email address in here, which is glenna.bear. It's on the syllabus at mesacc.edu. So glenna.bayer at mesacc.edu. So you want to follow me, and so you want to add me to people that you're following. And if you want to share with classmates, then you do the same thing. You exchange each other's emails, and then you'll say, these are my followers. So if this works according to my plan, I should have a whole class full of followers. We'll see. We'll see if this works. We'll see if people are listening to this video. I think it's an important feature and it'll help you. So we'll see what you all think. So that's about the end of my orientation here. If you have any questions about anything on the Canvas website, on the Lippincott website, other than tech support, I want to send you to Lippincott tech support if your questions are related to tech support or to accessing the book to begin with. Again, this is your book, Essentials of Pathophysiology. This is your ebook, and then your online course is back here. Hopefully it'll take us right back to the course. And then your online course is here. So if you're watching this video, it means you're in Canvas. It means the course is turned on. So please drop me a message in Canvas if you have any questions about how we're going to get started. Please use this first week as it is intended. It's a time for you to get tech savvy about the websites and the resources and the actual online course functions, so that we can hit the ground running on week 2 to dig into cell and tissue function. I'm looking forward to getting to meet you all online. And again, if you have any questions, please message me through Canvas. Thanks.